All right, let's dive into something pretty wild. A psychological trick that's so powerful, it can actually make your brain celebrate a loss, almost like it was a win.
Have you ever had that feeling, that heart-stopping moment of an almost win? You know what I'm talking about. The slot machine reel clicks into place just one symbol off the jackpot. Or your team is inches away from scoring the winning goal. Your heart just pounds in your chest, right?
Well, get this. That feeling, it's not an accident at all. It's a design. It's a very carefully crafted mechanism, and its whole purpose is to keep you hooked. So today, we're going to break down exactly how it works.
So this whole thing actually has a name, and it really gets to the core of why it can be so tough to just walk away. It's called the almost win effect. And what is that? Well, you can think of it like a powerful loophole in our thinking. Your brain gets tricked. It sees that near miss, and instead of registering failure, it thinks, wow, we're getting so close. And that's all the motivation you need to say, okay, just one more try.
So how does this even happen? How does it work on us? It all comes down to this really fascinating quirk in our brain chemistry. You could almost call it a biological glitch, one that gets exploited. And here's where it gets really interesting. Scientists have looked at our brains during these moments, and what they found is that an almost win lights up the exact same reward pathways as an actual win. You get nearly the same burst of dopamine, that feel-good chemical. So your brain is basically screaming, whoa, we were so close. Let's do that again. And that's the real kicker, isn't it? It's not logical, it's chemical. Your rational mind knows you lost, it's obvious. But that chemical reaction in your brain, it just steamrolls right over that logic. It's this deep biological response that's just pushing you to try again. Okay, so why do we even have this glitch in the first place? It seems kind of counterintuitive, right? Well, it turns out this instinct goes way, way back. We're talking deep evolutionary roots, from a time when it was absolutely crucial for our survival. Just picture a prehistoric hunter, okay? They're tracking their prey, they get super close, but it gets away at the last second. That little dopamine hit from the near miss is what tells their brain, don't give up, keep going. For them, that persistence wasn't about a game. It was literally the difference between eating and starving. It was a survival instinct. So back then, it ensured our survival. But now, that exact same powerful wiring is still in our brains. And today, instead of helping us hunt, it's being used to keep us spinning, or clicking, or betting. And you better believe this isn't some happy accident for game designers. Oh no. This is the foundation of their strategy. They have become experts at engineering these experiences specifically to trigger that ancient instinct inside of us. I mean, it's not random at all. Game developers literally code near-miss frequencies. They calculate the exact rate of these almost wins to hit this perfect sweet spot, enough to keep you excited and hopeful, but not so often that you get suspicious. It's a really delicate psychological dance. And it's not just about the numbers. They pile on top of it. They amplify that feeling with a total sensory assault. Think about it. You almost win, and suddenly the music swells. Gold lights are flashing. Maybe your little avatar on screen does a celebratory dance. All of it, every single sound and light, is designed to make that loss feel like you're making progress. And listen, it's not just about slots. This effect is absolutely everywhere once you start looking for it. What about the sports fan who bet on their team and they lose by one single point? Or the gamer who opens a loot box and gets an item that's just one tier below legendary? It's the exact same trick, the same biological pattern, that same cliffhanger in your brain saying, we were so close. Come on, just one more try. Now, it's also really important to remember that this doesn't affect everyone in the same way. Some people's brains are just naturally more sensitive to these near misses, which can make them more vulnerable. And that's why things like responsible gaming tools, setting limits or having cool-off periods can be so important. They act like psychological brakes for this hacked reward system. So after all this, what's the big takeaway? What should you remember? It really boils down to one thing: understanding the difference between what you feel in that moment and what that feeling is actually telling you. Because when you get that rush from an almost win, what does it feel like? It feels like a whisper of good luck, right? Like a little secret that a real win is just around the corner. But what is it, really? It's your ancient survival instinct being gamified. And that brings us to the most important question of all. When you get that heart-pounding almost feeling, is it a promise of a future win? Is it a sign of what's coming?
No, it's not. It's not a promise. It's a persuasion. A deep biological persuasion designed for one thing: to keep you playing. And look, just knowing that, that's the difference. It gives you the power to hit pause, to recognize that feeling for what it truly is, just an old echo from our past, not a prophecy of the future. And then you can decide for yourself if one more try is actually worth it.